Hello, users! Welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All, this series where I knock down the people that you're addicted to and obsessed with online and tell you when they say stupid shit. So, today, did Noam Chomsky doing Krystal Ball. A lot of people that follow me for whatever reason like Rising. Rising was useful during the primaries. Its usefulness has completely eroded. It is no longer useful. They are an obstruction to progress. Krystal Ball is not really a progressive. She's like a social democrat at best, right? And then Saga and Jetty is just a full-blown far-right fascist. I made a video about Saga and Jetty a couple weeks ago, and people were wondering about my thoughts on Krystal Ball because I didn't really go into them too much. My opinion was, again, I appreciated her voice during the primary. I think she had a good a good kind of counterweight to the far right corporatocracy that was being showcased online and cable media. But the primary is over. She has no usefulness anymore. She is just talking down to protesters, right? She's elevating very, very, very interesting people, far-right people, Saga and Jetty trying to say that he's not a far-right guy, he's just a conservative. Yeah, sure, he doesn't like immigrants and wants immigrants to be in concentration camps, but hey, dude, he's just a conservative, and I'm sorry, I don't buy that shit. As a trans woman, right, I don't buy that shit. There's no such thing as just a conservative, bro. These people want to kill me, so no, I'm sorry, I don't buy that. But Krystal Ball is doing more racist apologia here, and I haven't watched the entire clip, so maybe she says something I agree with. Maybe I'm going in with a bad frame of mind. You can post those in my comment section if you want to try to epic own me or whatever. Anyway, nearly 1 million views on this clip, by the way. This was sent to me yesterday. So she's saying Trump supporters aren't racist. They just yearn for a better time where white people were on top. Not racist, though.
Now, it wouldn't surprise you that while this material might make effective fodder for a Tucker monologue, a focus on defending statues, Confederate or otherwise, is not going to get the job done for a re-election bid. Just think about this. During a time of joblessness, a looming foreclosure and eviction crisis, and an unchecked pandemic, the president chose to issue an executive order on statues. Hardly a top-of-mind issue for people who are lining up for miles at food pantries and trying not to die. In fact, these dumb symbolic fights are exactly the sort of morass Democrats normally get themselves sucked into and end up looking like out-of-touch fools talking about some niche issue like emoji racism rather than the wage, retirement, healthcare, and childcare issues where their positions actually have broad support. But what really struck me about these speeches, and actually the entire Trump election approach, is that he apparently has no idea why he was actually elected. In fact, it actually seems like he has bought into the MSNBC liberal resistance narrative about his own supporters and electoral success, leaving out the Russiagate nonsense, that is. According to that crew, of course, 2016 was all about white racial grievance and nothing else. It was all just culture war and racism, and there were no legitimate economic concerns, which Trump tapped into whatsoever. In fact, if you suggest that there were other factors at play and that it was possible to have legitimate, non-bigoted reasons for voting Trump over Hillary, you were likely to be mocked and shamed. The white working class is uniquely racist, deplorable if you will. That's why they love Trump. End of story. There's absolutely no doubt, of course, that the same...
So, okay, real quick here. This is a little bit of revisionist history, and it's kind of framing it in a binary... Either the Democrats' narrative or the Republicans' narrative. It's actually a mixture of both. Do I think supporting Trump in 2016 you had maybe potentially good reasons to? No, I don't. I don't think there's a good reason to support Trump in 2016. I'm sorry. But I can understand why people get duped or got duped. 2016 was kind of a transition era. There are a lot of people that didn't do their research and they got duped. Now, does that mean everyone that casted a ballot for Donald Trump is a white supremacist? Of course not. But if the reasons for casting that ballot were, I want to make America great again, then chances are 99% they are a white supremacist. Now, I can understand hating Hillary Clinton, thinking that, she's garbage, and then thinking hey, Trump could be whatever, who knows, man? He used to be a Democrat, now he's a Republican, who knows? It might be cool. I can understand that method of thought. Personally, I voted for Jill Stein, but I can understand that method of thought. However, I would not say that it is inherently racist. However, the largest cohort of Republicans, 30% of the country that voted for Trump, like the large majority of the Republican base, they are racist. Yes, even black Republicans believe in white supremacy. Look at Jesse Lee Peterson. Yes, even Hispanic Republicans believe in white supremacy. Every time I use the term Latinx, I get the Republicans saying, "I'm not Latinx, I'm Hispanic." So I just think that's interesting. But yes, they believe in white supremacy. Why? Because they can profit off of it as the tokens that they are. That is their perspective. So I'm not going to buy this whole Republicans aren't really racist bullshit. They've been racist. They will be racist. They will continue to be racist. There is no such thing as a Republican voter that does not believe in white supremacy. Actions speak louder than words. If you're an independent and you voted for Trump because you thought he could be more interesting than Hillary, I understand. But I think you were misinformed and I think you were duped, okay? But that does not equate to you being a racist. But if you're a Republican, you are a racist. Those are two words that are synchronistic. So let's move on.
Southern strategy appeals to white identity, which have animated the Republican Party, have contributed to the fervency of the support for Trump among his base. Look no further than the video he himself tweeted of one of his elderly supporters yelling white power at Black Lives Matter protesters. Some of that support is overtly racist. Much of it is a more oblique yearning for an earlier time when high school educated white men willing to work hard could achieve middle class stability. A time when white men were unequivocally on top of the national pecking order and the
Now let's see if she's going to follow this up with, yeah, everything I just said was stupid.
Preferences and lifestyle of the white working class dominated our national culture. But every Republican does white identity pandering to some extent. Mitt Romney tried to make Obamacare into a new welfare queen issue. George W. Bush benefited in the Republican primary from a campaign to convince South Carolina voters.
All right, I'm not going to find the follow-up. But if she does say that they're all racist, then all right, we're in agreement. But if she doesn't, my critique is as follows. Whitewashing Republicans? I'm sorry? No. Okay, if you're a Republican, if you voted for George W. Bush and you realized the war was garbage and then maybe your fucking daughter came out as gay and then now you're fucking like a staunch liberal or hell, maybe even a socialist or communist, all power to you. I don't give a fuck what you did in your past. Your past does not matter. What matters is the present and the future. Okay, now, obviously this goes for regular people, not politicians. When it comes to politicians, when it comes to people with positions of power, then yes, their past matters. But when it comes to individuals, no, it doesn't. As long as you're on the right track, that's all that matters. But the idea that Republicans, they're not all overtly racist. No. It's overt racism. And then it's just oblique racism. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the racism that's like, beneath the surface. There's not that much wrong with that because you don't get to see it. Yeah, sure, I'm not going to say white power, but I'm going to vote to make America great again, buddy. Ha-ha! That is showing out for the overt racism. It is covering for the overt racism. There is no such thing as a non-racist Republican. And yeah, maybe you can make this argument that like I've seen some like progressive, like leftists running as a Republican in like Republican dominated districts in their primaries. That's there's obviously exceptions to that. But as far as the typical understanding, the typical if you're a Trump voter, if you're an enthusiastic Trump voter, if you're a mild supporting, we have Joe Biden. It's not Bernie Sanders. Stop with your stupid commie scare shit, okay? If you vote for Trump over Biden, you are a racist. I'm sorry, there is no other if you vote for Joe Jorgensen, maybe you won't be a racist. That's possible. But if the options are Biden and Trump, and you vote for Trump, you are a racist. There is no other way around it. There is no, third way, right? No, there is no third way. If you vote for Trump, you are a racist. End of story. Whitewashing Republicanism, saying that, Republicans aren't that bad, it's just the really crazy ones. I'm sorry, that's how we got Donald Trump. That is a failing strategy. So, Krystal Ball, I'm officially classifying you as useless. Your show is propaganda. I don't care about it. You're not propelling anything. The primary's over. You're washed up. Get a new gig. Stop promoting fascists, and maybe I'll respect you again. But if anyone here likes Krystal Ball, if you want to send me Krystal Ball arguments, I'll respond to anything. I'll respond to anything I'm sent to. As far as that goes. If you want to You know, if you watch their show and maybe you don't agree with me, that's fine. You know, I'm not saying you have to agree with me. You should agree with me, but I'm not saying you have to. But if you see her like show and then you see her say something, it's like, I wonder what Andrea would say about that. That's me. I'm Andrea. Let me know. I'll make a response. I'll respond to anything. But here, this whole whitewashing, this whole bullshit, oh, you know, they're not really racist. They just yearn for a better time where whites were on top. I'm sorry. That's racism. That doesn't mean anything to me. Actions speak louder than words. I'm sorry. Actions speak louder than words. If you vote for Trump over Biden, you're a racist. If you vote for Biden enthusiastically, guess what? You're also a racist. If you vote for Biden to stop Trump, fine, whatever. But don't say if you vote for Trump you're not a racist, because I'm sorry, there is no third way. Bill Clinton isn't going to fucking turn redcoat and come out of the fucking woodwork and introduce his third way here. I'm sorry, you're fucked in the head and you're dumb. You're a social reject if you vote for Donald Trump. And I'm sorry if that triggers you. Oops. Oh, the argument is, making fun and calling what they are Trump supporters, they'll make them even more Trump. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. Okay, my channel is about forcing social democrats, socialists, and communists to be anarchists. That's my message. I don't give a fuck if someone who's 99% in favor of voting for Trump finds my video and then ticks over to 100. I don't give a shit. That's not my problem. They're the one with the fucking social reject fucking policy agenda. They're the one that has no friends. How is that my issue? Okay? Like, I don't give a fuck about them. Okay, so don't give me this bullshit. All Trump supporters are racist. I'm sorry. All Biden supporters are racist. Now, again, there's a difference between a Biden supporter and voting for Biden to stop Trump, okay? There is no such thing as the reverse. I'm sorry. There is no voting for Trump to stop Biden. I'm sorry. No, you're dumb. You're an idiot. You're a fucking fool. You're a loser. Vote third party if you want to do this whole, like, oh, my vote is my agenda. Like, do that. Vote Green. Vote fucking Libertarian. Vote Constitution Party. Vote Kanye West. I don't give a fuck. But don't say you're voting Trump to stop race. Like, I'm sorry. That's bullshit. You're dumb. You know that's bullshit. Don't tell me that bullshit, because I will just delete your comment and not even read it because it's bullshit. I'm sorry. You're canceled, bitch.